Every week we hop on Discord for a family call. This week our family call was on Monday night after Melissa and Alex got home from work.
I just finished reading Steel and Spellfire by Laura Weymouth, and I was just really excited about this. It hit so many of the right things for me. It was about a young woman who is at a school for ingenues, and the ingenues are kind of like, they have some magic, some basic parlor magic, but they are kind of trained in how to work in the court, and any mages in this world have to be tethered to someone in order to kind of temper their magic. And so there is this school where the women learn how to be this ingenue, and as they're getting ready to graduate and go to Palace Hill, we find that our main character is there for other reasons. It turns out she was tethered to somebody early on in her life, and she was raised without love. She was raised just to be kind of a tool in this person's magical arsenal, and she was kind of tortured and treated poorly, and everything was about making her the most powerful. At some point she escapes, and that's when she goes to the school for ingenues, and now she's going back to try and find out who is it that is her patron, who she's been tethered to, and how can she get disconnected. And early on, as she gets into the palace, she has to be tested, and that's where our other point of view comes from Ellis, or Beacon, as he is the one who has to test her, and he realizes that she actually has a lot more power than they're expecting. But for some reason, he feels this connection with her, and he doesn't turn her in right away, but is kind of waiting to test out and see who she really is. And their story is really fun, and there's a lot of intrigue. Who is her patron, and how is she going to find them? And then as she spends a little bit more time on Palace Hill, people from her class start getting murdered. So there's a mystery to solve and her patron to find, and are both of these things happening by the same person? So there was a lot of drama, and it was a lot of fun. It was YA fantasy, and I enjoyed it a lot.
At Youth this week, we played a classic game called Scooch. In short, there's a player in the center who's it, and there's an empty chair in the circle. If the it person sits in the seat to your right, then you're eliminated, and the person to the right of that is now it. We played it a little different, that the new empty chair isn't eliminated right away, but after 4 or 5 rounds. I don't think I've said specifically in the vlog, but Alex pretty consistently works on Mondays now, and so our dinners with Alex are mostly on Wednesdays. Alex has spent the last several weeks working on breading his chicken, and I'm perfectly fine with being his guinea pig.
Earlier in the year, I read The Last Dragon on Mars, and the next in the series just came out, A Rise of Neptune by Reintgen, and it was so good. I, of course, love the first one because there's a little bit more, like, just deep figuring out who these people are, but I felt like the second one had a lot of good emotional beats. We got actually a couple different characters that were, we got their perspectives, and The Rise of Neptune gave us a little bit of a almost an Ender's Game vibe. I was really excited about this one, and if you're looking for juvenile fiction with some sci-fi fantasy, I would say this whole series so far has been wonderful.
On Friday, we decided to go to the Great Divide for dinner. We actually got seated on the other side of the restaurant than where we'd been before, which means that we were able to see into the kitchen, which was kind of cool. It's one of the better restaurants in Castle Rock, so I'm not quite sure why we don't go more often.